Well, good morning. How are you all today? And welcome to Integrative Preparedness. Got a question for you. What's wrong with preppers? I mean, that's not necessarily a rhetorical question. I want to talk about that a little bit. While you think about that, get yourself something to sip on. I'm drinking my coffee today out of our 2025 Merry Stonemont Christmas, a Stonemont Christmas mug. It is now available for you all if you would like to order them through our website, stonemont.us, because Stonemont, where life is good and it is a way of life. On the sidebar, it says, for unto you a child is born, right? You know what that's from. So if you want one or two or four or how many, you can get them. Do order. I want to say order as soon as you can, because the closer we get to Christmas, the less I can guarantee we're going to get them to you by Christmas. And what could make a Christmas morning better than being able to drink your whatever out of this? Okay, let me take a sip, and then I'm going to talk about what's wrong with preppers. Now, those of you who have been with me for a while know that I can't stand the term prepper, and as a matter of fact, most of you can't either, because we are not preppers here. We are PMPs, preparedness-minded people, or a preparedness-minded person, if you want to use the singular on that, and I hope you are too. That is a person. A PMP is one who dives more deeply and takes it seriously and makes it a part of their life. And by the way, we have a lot of new people joining. Welcome to you all. It is great to have you here, and probably you're here because you have discovered this channel and discovered that we approach things a little bit differently. Well, a lot differently than many other channels. We are not the fear porn, doom and gloom, light our hair on fire, or run around in a circle screaming about the latest horrible thing that's going to befall us, and that's just not us. We fully understand all of the challenges and the threats out in the world, but we approach them just like I do in my books. We approach them with a sound mind. And you know what the Bible says, for we have not been given a spirit of fear, right? Right. So that's how we do it. And it's good to have all of you new people here. I'm going to read something today in answer to my question, what's wrong with preppers? And this is from our poet laureate, Tom Usher, over on Tom. Tom writes so much good stuff. I wished I had written all this stuff down or copied all of his stuff over the years. I would put it together in a book and give it to him. Sadly, I did not. But he is a thinker, like many or most of the people who watch this channel. He is a thinker. Now, Tom is a deep thinker who is able to put his thoughts into words in an exceptional way, in a way that I wish I could, and I'm a professional writer. So he addresses this, and this was a comment on, I think, the one I put up yesterday. You've been lied to about the economy. You see, here also we deal with truth. I wonder whether I should get into this or not. No, I don't think I will. I'm going to keep this right along the line that I had planned. Let me just say that I am really disappointed with some channels that I have seen who are delving into the and one of them, a military channel that I used to watch. I will not watch him anymore because of the innuendo and unsupported charges that have been leveled, purient. I mean, sexually charged charges against Trump, and it has nothing to do with Trump. If they had done it against anybody, if they had brought this stuff up about Biden, I would feel the same. I just don't like this. Don't like this stuff. They're anxious to get to the front and talk about, an email came out, and guess what? It said this, and maybe it said that. Now maybe it's not true, but, and see, I don't have any respect for that. Anyway, let me get back to this. Tom Usher is a serious person, a serious PMP, and he wrote this in response as a comment to yesterday's, like I say, you've been lied to about the economy. Guys, if you're not with us on our Patreon channel, I want to invite you over there. The link is right down below. come over there. It'll cost you $1 a month, or 5 if you'd like. But we really are a community. It's, you know, the Integrative Preparedness channel is really a community. And you will see that by reading comments. It's even more of a community over on the Patreon channel. And we have some unbelievably smart people over there who share their expertise and all of that. And if you are really interested in preparedness and you're not availing yourself of that for $1 a month on the Patreon channel, you're costing yourself. Okay, so join us. Anyway, today you get a treat. You get to hear what Tom Usher said about preppers. And first off, let me say I agree with him 100%. All right, so what's wrong with preppers? He says, it occurs to me that most of the people that are in the prepper sphere are not deep thinkers. I would agree with that entirely. That doesn't mean you. It doesn't mean you. But so what I'm talking about, and this is one of the problems. This is what we've tried to do with this channel is get people thinking, address things truthfully, and going deep down. You know, that was the purpose of my books. In case you don't know, I'm the guy that wrote the Stonemont series. I have written 7 books, 7 novels, but factual novels about the collapse of the world, how to prepare for it, how to survive it, how to rebuild afterwards. So this is not something that we just come on and bounce around on the day. Oh no, this is failing. Oh no, that's failing. We actually put thought into it and talk about solutions. Okay, the person who just wants to complain is not a problem solver. They are a complainer. So I interjected that. Let me back this up. It occurs to me, Tom says, that most of the people that are in the prepper sphere are not deep thinkers. Right. They run on emotion. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to hold this up because I'm reading it off of my other phone here. Okay. They run on emotion. They are the same people that vote Republican, no matter how bad the Republicans screw them over, because that's their team. Yeah. I don't mean to sound like I have the market on smarts cornered here. It's just that and I'm not putting down Republicans, and Tom isn't either. I'll back that up for a second. I can't remember the last time I voted for a Democrat because the Republicans are certainly more aligned with the way that I feel about most things. And then they get up there and then they screw us, right? Okay, so that's what we're talking about. Okay. I don't mean to sound like I have the market on smarts covered here. It's just that so many in all parts of American society are just, well, dumb. They can recognize a problem well enough. They just can't solve it. Right? They listen to others that are running on emotion because there is a rightward tilt to the things those people say. Right? They are on their team, so to speak. The listeners don't want to put in the effort to verify the truth. And he's responding to what I was talking about. You've been lied to about the economy. I put up some real truth about tariffs yesterday. Oh my gracious. People just wanted to argue, and I could tell that they didn't know what they were talking about, but they're arguing just on the basis of the superficial tidbits that they've heard and have been fed. So that's what he's talking about here. They want to be spoon-fed, which is a sure sign of laziness. That's right. And that laziness bleeds over into their lives in every way. They like the fantasy of being prepared. Isn't that the truth? Or wealthy or whatever. They don't want to put in the hard work. Isn't that right? How many times, and you can see this, you can see it if you go to prepper groups or if you know, certain prepper channels. How about the people that are always, I mean, they've been at it for a long time. I mean, they're always talking about what they're going to do. But, and sometimes they even go off on strange tangents about, you know, what if this happened and what if that happened? Something that would never happen. And yet, you don't see that they have really put in the work to be prepared for the things that are most likely to happen, right? Okay. So yeah, they want the fantasy of preparedness. They don't want to put in the hard work. And again, this isn't you all, but I think that this was brilliant, and I want to share this because we have a lot of new people joining all the time to say, yeah, guys, this shows the difference between this channel and many others. He goes on, I don't have a team. I think independently. I am a conservative, not a Republican, though I do tend to vote that way most of the time. Whatever choice is there. Yeah, that's true. The Republican Party is wholly owned by the Chamber of Commerce, big banks, big business, and big defense. Right. They are conservative Inc. Well, he's exactly right. Even though this isn't going to be a political talk here, think about those who consider themselves conservative, right? Lindsey Grahamnesty, all the neocons that always wanted to go to war all the time, they're all, yeah. So they are conservative Inc. They are not conservative. Sure, they'll quote Russell Kirk or William F. Buckley when it suits them, their end goals, but they don't believe the things these men wrote. They believe in money and the power it brings. Yeah, that's right. I have no doubt that they are using the prepper world. This is important here. I have no doubt that they are using the prepper world to influence the right. They are stoking fear in the service of instability. Boy, there's a quote. They are stoking fears in the service of instability. Many preppers are not smart enough to understand what is happening to them. That's right. That's why I absolutely appreciate your moniker for those of us that do think calmly about all of the things facing us. Preparedness-minded people. It was one of our mugs, well, the mug from the gathering. It says on that, PMP, preparedness-minded person. We don't run on fear. We look for opportunity to benefit ourselves while thinking of how we might also benefit others. Right. We love life, We love life and write out the problem. Write out the problems. The printing's so small on my other phone as I'm having a hard time. I need new glasses. We love life and write out the problems it throws our way through logic and reason, falling back on the systems we've built to power us through. Yeah, that's right, that we've built. Not that we fantasized about, that we've built. We don't worry about the scary headline of the moment or the next great shiny object that we absolutely must have, right? How often do you see that? Oh, got to have this. Well, I talk about, yeah, you should have my books because you learn from my books. You don't need a new knife. You don't need a new flashlight. You don't need a new whatever. Okay. It's all background noise and it doesn't serve the greater goals. Because unlike most preppers, we have goals and we meet them. It might take some time, but we don't lose sight, right? Perseverance and faith. Listen to this. Perseverance and faith are the hallmarks of the PMP, preparedness-minded person, right? Thanks for your insights, he concludes. This is the most valuable YouTube channel out there. Tom, I can't thank you enough for that. If you knew Tom's background and his history and his experience in life, you would understand how much that means when he says this is the most valuable YouTube channel out there. Thank you very much, Tom. So I think that kind of answers the question, what is wrong with preppers? Well, as I've said before, too many. They're splashing around on the surface in the shallow end, thinking that they're accomplishing something with their blow-up toys and their pool noodles. And they don't go down to the deep end and dive down and see really, what the real threats are. And because that in too many cases would demand or make them realize that they need to take more serious action than they are. It's easy, to go online and go to a channel or go to a news or something like that, and just looking for the latest threat, the latest horribly bad thing that we should worry about, and then read it or listen to it and get all excited and get our dopamine dump, and then maybe even go off and share it with somebody else. Did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? And then do what most people do, is nothing. Then they go off and do nothing because they have fooled themselves into thinking that hearing about something and getting excited about it or afraid of it is the same as doing something about it. Well, it's not. Okay. Like anything else in life, if you're going to be successful, it's a matter of setting your eyes on what the situation is, taking a look at the steps that you need to take in order to get to the solution or the goal, and then taking those steps. And like I've always said, there's only two parts to a job. The first is getting started. The second is keep going until you finish the job. And not taking that first step, that's where, or taking a few little steps and getting all excited about it, and then not pushing yourself to really think through the rest of the process. That's what holds most people back. So anyway, what's wrong with preppers? Well, most of them don't think deeply enough, because thinking and doing are both hard work, right? It's not as much fun. Not as much fun as getting the scare, the temporary scare I mentioned yesterday. I was talking to my daughter about what she was scared of, and I mentioned that there is a psychological thing that we seem to be attracted to that which we fear, because it gets us all titillated, right? It gets us all excited, like riding a roller coaster. But we can think about it, but see, when we're thinking about it, as long as we know that it's not real, go to a haunted house or whatever like that, we can get all afraid, but we know it's not real. And so that's what I think, well, I know. That's what Tom was talking about, and that's what I've said about. That's the prepper fantasy that too many preppers involve themselves in on a daily basis. And I tell you what, it's no healthier than any other fantasy. It can be just as destructive. All right. Well, there we go. I got to get out here and get to work, accomplish some things, right? So it is a beautiful Sunday, and we're going out to hang some Christmas lights on a bunch of people's houses to make them happy and get ready to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. And you all have a good day. Remember, here's our new Mary Stonemont Christmas mugs. Order them soon if you want them by Christmas. And remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.